Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my oral presentation. And I go by the name of Nicholas Ngare. I am an AMT student at BC Georgetown campus. And today I'm going to be talking to you about nonverbal communication. I'm going to start off with a brief introduction on how nonverbal communication evolved and how it's come so far. It started off in the late 1800s and it actually picked up when Charles Darwin argued the fact that animals and humans show emotions through nonverbal communication. They actually show emotions through the gestures, through the manners, and through facial expressions. UK essays wrote in 2003 that animals only communicate through nonverbal communication, and it's an article I seen online through Google search. I'm heading on to defining what nonverbal communication actually says, and according to the Collins English Dictionary, and I read, nonverbal communication includes all the aspects of communication, such as gestures, manners, and facial expressions that do not involve verbal communication. So, for layman understanding, nonverbal communications mean no use of words, no use of speech, and you don't talk. That's it. A smile, a laugh, a frown face, slow walk, are all ways of non-verbally communicating. I'm gonna head on to three scenarios I picked that could depict and that could show the use of non-verbal communication. I picked the first scenario is that of a widow. The widow in the womb culture, the widow in womb culture actually dresses all black. She shaves off her hair and she goes like she cries for weeks, goes for months crying. So those three non-verbal manners of communicating: shaving her hair, wearing black for weeks, months sometimes, and like morning crying, actually tells you she's been widowed, she's been bereaved, she lost her husband, and that's from the womb culture. I'll head on to soccer. I like soccer, and I picked this soccer scenario where Tony Cruz is about to take a corner kick, and Cristiano Ronaldo's attacking the ball. So Cristiano Ronaldo lifts up his hand with a show of the hand, asks for the ball without verbally saying or without any use of words. He lifts up his hand for Tony Cruz to send the ball his direction, his way. So Tony Cruz with a kick of the leg and crosses over the ball to Cristiano, who attacks the ball with an attacking header, scores a goal, and the field goal. Wow, people shouting, the joyful, the smiles on people's faces, and all of those make up aspects of nonverbal communication. And soccer, because in a soccer match, the players are not allowed to shout, they're not allowed to scream, they're not allowed to talk. Like you can only show gestures, you can ask for the ball without without saying it. You just have to like show signs, show directions where you're headed to. And the third scenario is that of a SWAT team that's about to attack a terrorist group, and actually focus my non-verbal communication talk about today on this. A SWAT team which is about to attack a terrorist group, you know how risky the situation is, and to limit the chances of being being heard, or they use limit the chances of being heard, they use non-verbal means of communicating. And these are tricks that actually practice during practice sessions, and to know it and the fun of like they know what it means and how to use it, at what time to use it. A couple of these gestures, the captain does these: 1, 2, 3, counts down to 5. It actually means they're gonna attack in 5 minutes. He shows like this direction, showing like the direction of where they're gonna be attacking. When he does this, like they're gonna be attacking at the back, and do a lot more signs and gestures that go on during the scene, during the scenario. Gestures like some of them showing like signs of weakness. It's too tough for them. They can't go through. Some of them crying because they lost a loved one, and some of them giving high fives because they've done a job well done. And next thing, I'm going to go into the types of nonverbal communication. I'm going to list them and try to give an example of each. Facial expression. Facial expression. I could do these. That's actually a smile, and that's a facial expression to mean you're happy. You could do a frown face to mean like you're sad. And during the SWAT team operation, there were a lot of facial expressions. They were focused. You know, it's uh, uh, it's something of high project, so they have to be focused and they have to get the job well done. Next type of verbal communication I'm going to go into, it's kinesis. Kinesis actually involve body movement. Body movement like dancing. Dancing shows you joyous. Slow walking means you slow walking can either mean you hurt, like you don't walk, you limping, can mean you hurt. So those are the types of those are the types of non-verbal communication involved in kinesis. I've chosen like being hurt, you limping, you can't walk well, and dancing to show like you're happy and all that. Next thing is oculosis, and it's actually eye communication. You can communicate with your eye, just looking at something. You see, I'm looking at a direction. Like you could just look at a direction. You're communicating with your eye, show direction of where something or someone need to go to without telling them. Next type of communication is gonna be haptic. Haptic means to touch, like you actually touch someone, you give them a hug, you give them a kiss, show them affection by tapping on the back. Next thing is olfactics. Olfactics means smell. You smell, like you can smell from afar, you smell food, and it's dinner time. And proximities. Proximities simply means the distance between you and someone, and the distance someone gives you can actually mean a lot more. And chronomerics is communication that's controlled by time, and people tend to hate when they're late. People tend to be slow when they think they have more time. People tend to procrastinate when in certain situations. And I'm going to conclude by this statement: through the study of nonverbal communication, I think my communication has greatly improved, as I could like greatly understand people from their facial expressions, from their manners. I take all that into consideration, and if I start to talk something that's not good to someone from the face, I could depict that and maybe stop. Or if they're interesting, I could go ahead and give them some more knowledge or some more good points. Thank you. That's a wrap.